what you should be doing in 2026 based on numerology and astrology. I'm going to share in this video. I'm going to break it down for you. 2026 is a universal 1 year. Now, this year started with the year of the snake. We don't officially move into the year of the horse until February. That means that this numerological new year and its destination, because remember the imprint and the outcome are the same, is influenced by both the snake and by the horse. This 1 year will culminate in 2033, which is 8 years from this year. 8 is a number of the harvest. That's why in the Roman pantheon, Saturn, which is 8, is associated with reaping the harvest from the crops. Saturn is the cause and effect, law of karma. That's why in Vedic pantheon or astrology, Saturn is the one who delivers your karma. That's why he's sometimes called the god of suffering, who makes you a pauper or a king. What actually is happening is he's just delivering to you the results of your past actions, behaviors, thoughts, etc. So that's when that will bear fruit, is in 2033. So if we look at 2033, we can see the result that is potential. If you look at this year, we can see the nature of that result. If you take two together, you can create a very powerful general way of approaching this year, because what you initiate and what you do this year has very long-reaching effects, because it is the beginning of a new cycle. So let's get into it. Number 1, 2033. Let's start there and reverse engineer. What is 2033 about? Well, it has a gift or a shadow of 33. That means 2033 is going to be about raising of consciousness. It's going to be about raising of the masses, society. Even enlightenment will be seen in 2033 as an ascension year, because it is also a universal 8 year. So 33 plus 2 is 8. 8 is a number of enlightenment. That's why you'll see a lot of the yogis, the siddhas, enlightened beings will have their enlightenment or their samadhis on 8 energy, whether they're turning an age that adds to 8, or a day of the 8, or the life path of an 8, or a year in the 8. 8 is a number of enlightenment. Look at the 8 symbol. It's a symbol of infinity, completion. It's a closed circuit. Immortality is 8. Enlightenment, immortality are synonyms. The full enlightenment is the light body itself, when your body is transmuted into light and you become immortal. This is where you become like a god. That's a side topic. We're not going to get into that. But when you take this 8 under 33 energy, this is a very powerful year for raising of consciousness. Now let's go back into this year, the 1. What to do to get the best results and reap the best rewards? Well, universal 1 year is going to be a year where many people are going to be changing their jobs, changing their purpose. Why career is seen? Because career is aligned with purpose. Career and purpose are one and the same. In Vedic astrology, it's the 10th house. 10th house is your dharma. It is what you're doing in this world, your karma, what you're taking action in. So 1 year is about initiating a new career or changing the career that you're in, somehow taking a quantum leap, somehow shifting within that. But you're going to see a lot of people are going to be drawn to changing their jobs, their careers this year, because their purpose is going to change. Why? Because 1 year is about initiating based on your identity. This year supports aligning with what is authentic to you. It does not support trying to fit in. It does not support compromising your ideals, compromising your principles, compromising your values, especially when we shift into horse, which is going to be February 17th. Because February 17th initiates not just a horse, but a fire horse. Fire horse is the most intense extreme of all the different horses, so much so that back in the day, the Asian emperors would, when the fire horse babies were born, they would go and have those babies killed. Why? Because fire horse is the energy of revolution. Those babies will grow up and will somehow start a revolution and cause problems for the government or cause problems for the monarchy. Fire horse, because horses value their freedom. Fire horse brings that fire energy, means they're very, very aggressive about it. 1 energy itself is very, very aggressive. This is a year that is about prioritizing being aggressive for your principles. There are going to be a lot of relationship problems this year, no doubt about it. If you feel called to break up or there's a breakup, don't feel bad about it, because that is part of this energy. It supports it, because horse is the 7th sign in that 12 sign system. 7 is a number of separation, especially from emotional bonds, especially fire horse energy. They are prioritizing themselves. It's not that they're selfish, but their principles are the number 1. And the fire energy as well is a number that can create a lot of problems in relationships, especially under Universal One, because Universal One, again, very aggressive, very masculine energy. It's not a number of compromise, and relationships are all about compromise. So this year, if you initiate something that will help people, help raise others, help raise a group, a collective, society in general, because 6 is all about raising, that's the 3, expanding 6, society, the collective consciousness, community, the herd mentality. And the 8 energy is there, which is all about enlightenment. So this is a powerful time for initiating a career or a purpose that is raising your own consciousness that will help other people. It is not a year for compromise. It is a year for finding your target and working hard, being like a workhorse. That's where that term comes from. Horses are very, very hardworking. Now, for the rats, this is going to be your enemy year. But this is going to be a year that will work out for you in the future. Why? Because 2033 is a ox year to start and then goes into it's a rat year to start and then goes into ox year. Rat and ox are soulmates. So what's good for the ox is good for the rat and vice versa. What's bad for the rat, which is this year the horse, is going to be bad for the ox. Now I say bad, I say that for the general public. But for those who know, the enemy year is actually your yin and yang year. It's your opposite energy, which is a peak time for spiritual growth and development. Because it's a time when you can get a completion. When you take your opposite and you put those 2 puzzle pieces together, you can create a completion, a wholeness that you can't get otherwise. So it's a very powerful time for that. It's not really a powerful time for trying to assert yourself, for imprinting things that you want to have trajectories on, because when you imprint will carry forward with you, and that will cause problems because the energy of the enemy means that energy resists you. If you are a rat or if you are an ox, the horse year is going to have a lot of resistance for you if you try to assert your own energy. It is about a year of letting go and going with the flow, about finding your peace in the opposite, about trying to imbibe those qualities to create a completion. That is the opportunity. But most people will take hits in their enemy years. The thing with this enemy year for rats and oxes is it will work out well for them in this cycle because it ends and culminates in rat and ox energy. What's good for the rat, what's good for the ox is good for vice versa. So don't worry about it. This is a good time for rats and oxes to set the sage and plant the seeds for enlightenment. Are you seeing the theme here? Rats and oxes in particular actually stand to benefit a lot from 2026 because this is a time that they can plant the seeds for their own enlightenment that will help and benefit as a byproduct other people. Now, 2026 has that 26. That means this is going to be a very karmic year. There's no doubt about it. There's going to be a lot of karma that's going to have to be faced, especially relationship karma is going to be a major theme this year. I can't say it enough. Relationship karma. Be careful in relationships because that is going to be a big theme, especially with the one, especially with Fire Horse. This is a recipe for relationship karma. So be advised. Be on the lookout. If you see problems in relationship, you know why. If you want to maintain that relationship, then you need to be aware that if you try to assert yourself and be too polarizing, you're going to create conflicts. If you're trying to be too argumentative, you're going to create breakups. You're going to create separation. Now, in one way, that actually could be a very, very good thing because relationships are very heavy karma and they may hold you back. If you are in a relationship, there has to be a compromise. And this year is about finding yourself. Being a revolutionary means separating from the herd, separating from relationships, and finding yourself. If you can do that in the relationship that you have now, by all means, that's a very healthy relationship, and you should be able to do that. But if that relationship is trying to hold you back, then it may be time to let it go. It may be time to separate. Just putting it out there, if you're not being aware that relationships is going to be a big thing this year, you're going to be missing a lot of things. This is going to be a year of relationship conflict for many people, especially for those people who aren't aware of what's going on. And it's going to cause separations. It's going to cause breakups. But that is what the year is trying to get you to do. Okay, I think I will end it here. This video is already much longer than I would have wanted it to be. But for those who are interested, this is what's going on. questions, comments to this video. If you want to book a reading, make sure to go to aumra.com, AAUMMRA.com. That name is going to be changing on February 11th as I introduce a new name. But that site will still be redirected, so you can still use that link. Go in there and get your perfect timing reading. You can buy it individually or buy it as part of a bundle where you can save around, I think, 35% off if you buy it as part of the bundle, and you get a lot more stuff as well. So check it out. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. Until next time, happy manifesting. God bless. Om.